You are listening to Inspiration and Information with Jen Julius, helping you take control of your own life by finding clarity, improving your communication, and building confidence to achieve your goals. For more information about me and my guest, you can go to jenjulius.com and check out the On the Radio tab. Today, I have Linda Basso on my show, and we will be discussing having fun with your marketing and being more effective too. I'm so excited about this topic and to have Linda here. Linda, can you go ahead and tell us a bit about what you do, where you came from, and why you're so awesome?
Sure. Hi. Good morning, Jen. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
So I am Linda Basso, and as Jen mentioned, I'm a transformational marketing coach, and I think that is what makes me special, right? So we have a lot of people who do marketing for companies, and then we have a lot of people who are out there coaching people or helping them grow, and I really combine the two.
Beautiful.
So about 20 years of doing branding and graphic design and marketing for big companies, companies in Silicon Valley, for Disney, Jamba Juice, Kimpton Hotels and Restaurants. So I have this deep experience in actually doing the marketing and branding work. And then I moved to Sonoma County and I thought, oh, now is my time to help people, right? I want to stop being in business and I want to make a difference in the world. That's what we do here in Sonoma County, right?
That's right. That's what we do all day.
So I moved here almost 2 years ago, and I started pursuing my coaching certification, and I was just going to abandon business, and I was really going to dive into helping people with their lives. You know, I'm a parent. I thought, I can help other parents or do something to really make a difference. And somewhere in that process, I had this amazing epiphany. I have a coach, so he pointed out to me that I could really combine the two. And
perfect.
Yeah, it's great because what I realized is that any entrepreneur who goes to do their marketing for themselves or take it to the next level, they're really going to grow personally. Mm-hmm. And so by combining the coaching and the marketing knowledge, I can guide them effectively, but I can also be there as they grow and stretch and get into fear spaces and move through that and take those big steps to grow their business.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I already love you more than I already did. Perfect. Well, we have the topic today, have fun with your marketing and be more effective too, I know is something people want to hear about because oftentimes marketing's looked at as like, and I know for me, a lot of resistance I had around marketing was I equated marketing to being salesy, right? So I'm really excited to talk today about the concept of play that you bring up so much with marketing. And I kind of wanted to start off by just asking, why play? What's so important about playing? What do you really mean by that?
So play is important for all of us in general. So it's not just about your business. And it's not just because it's more fun, right? That's what everyone thinks. Oh, I want to play because I want to have more fun. But the science...
I know that's true for me. So.
And fun is great. We all want a lot more fun. But scientists have taken a look at play, and it turns out that it's biologically necessary for children to play to become normal adults.
Oh.
Okay, so play is where kids figure things out. It's where they create the neural pathways for success, and it's where they develop relational skills.
Wow.
So it's absolutely necessary that kids play, and then it turns out that it's actually important for adults as well. And with adults, play, of course, in that relational way, it helps create relationships, but it also helps adults be creative, and it helps adults solve problems. Okay, so those are pretty important parts.
Pretty darn important. Yeah,
pretty important that being adults are creative in solving problems. But still, we often think of play as frivolous or something that we do after work.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So there are different states of play. There's the silly kind of open play that you see kids doing, but there are focused play, right? So imagine playing the piano or riding your bike or something where you're focused, you're present, you kind of maybe lose a sense of time.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a different play state. And then there's something called serious play. So if you were training for a big event, an athletic event or a big event in your life, you would really take it serious that you had to do some skill building, that you had to increase your endurance, that you had to make a game plan, right? In short, you would reach for a better, bigger version of yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's serious play. And when you overlay that concept into your marketing or your business, you can see, wow, okay, this is about stepping up and really playing big.
Yeah, I love it. And it's really appealing for me to hear that, because one of my issues is actually wanting the other type of play, as in doing whatever I want and having fun all the time and wanting to do that a lot. So it's refreshing to be able to hear that, hey, you can bring that into your work and your marketing, which with a young businesswoman trying to expand my business, it's critical actually that I'm aware of how to be expanding, and it doesn't feel like this gross type of work all the time.
Right. And that you stop you stop separating them, right? So,
right.
Oh no, I've got to have the fun play. Oh, I've got to work.
Yes.
Instead you can be, I'm seriously playing and I'm having fun.
Yes.
Right? Sprinkle them both. Because
sprinkle it. I love it.
As you're, working on increasing your endurance, for example, well, that would mean maybe doing tasks that you didn't love or sticking something out a little longer than you wanted to in order to increase your skill.
Yes.
And you could bring in then the frivolous play, the silliness to it.
Yeah.
And that would actually be a way of staying with it a little bit longer. So
Yes.
you would seriously play at increasing your endurance, but you would also increase your enjoyment. So you can play with these different states. Oh, I'm focused in my play right now. Oh, I'm in serious play right now. Oh, I'm just having fun and giggling.
Right. Love it. Beautiful. So how can we begin to really think playfully about our marketing more specifically?
Well, so let me start with just bringing play into your thinking.
Sure.
Okay, so these are two easy ways just to bring the idea of play to your thoughts.
Great.
And one of it is to think about it as a sports game, right? I think those analogies are pretty easy for people to grasp. It starts to make more sense.
Yeah.
When you are playing a sport, you have to practice. You have to create a strategic game plan. You have to engage with your competition. You have to review your actions for effectiveness, right? They have the
this
board
is making too much sense.
Right.
I'm like, these are...
and you have to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
So those are all things that we would naturally do as part of a sports game, but then we think that's got to stay on the field or that's only for those people that are playing that game.
Yeah.
But what if you were doing that in the game of life?
Yeah.
Right? So start thinking about that.
Oh, I love it.
Another way that you can bring play into your thinking are evoking words that speak to fun or play. And so, there are some obvious ones, like if you think of joy or desire or being spontaneous, right? Those are words that we would typically associate with play. Let's be more spontaneous. Let's just do this.
Yeah.
But there are other words like inspired, okay, or light with it. Be light with something. Don't take it so serious.
Yes.
Ease up.
Yes.
Okay, let's everybody just ease up here.
Yeah. Simmer down.
Experimentation.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go do something in life. I'm just gonna experiment with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what the results are. I'm gonna hold it lightly and play with it. Dabbling. That's my favorite. Right? I'm just gonna dabble with that. It implies that the outcome isn't as important as the process. I'm just gonna dabble. I'm just gonna do a little bit of that, a little bit of this.
Yes.
Trying it on. We go try on clothes. Why not try on states in life? Why not try on things in your business?
Yeah.
It means you don't have to stick with it. You're not making some major commitment. You're just trying it on.
Yeah.
Right? You can be in your alter ego.
Yeah. I love it.
I'm going to try on my super marketing woman today.
Exactly.
So dressing up. When we were little, you could dress up and then you could be someone else.
Yeah.
So dress up.
You want to hear something embarrassing?
Always.
I used to dress up in paper sacks, apparently, and run around. And scarves. That's how I dressed up when I was a little kid. Yeah. My mom's probably laughing if she's listening. Yeah.
So you can dress
I know
up.
very well. There's pictures to prove it, I think.
And another one is getting messy.
Yes.
Right? Get in there and get messy.
Yeah.
That's very playful. It's very freeing.
I love playing in the dirt, too.
Doing something for the fun of it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pay your bills because they're due. Why don't you pay your bills for the fun of it?
Yeah.
That's a whole different, mind state around that.
That could be a hard shift, yeah.
Taking a chance.
Yeah.
Just going to take a chance with this. I'm going to see how it goes. Suspending disbelief. So when we go see a play or we watch television or we listen to the radio, we have to suspend disbelief that event is happening, right? Here we are, just disembodied voices talking in the air.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
You see a play, you have to suspend disbelief.
Yeah.
Right? But it allows you to go to a different state. So that's something you can consciously evoke.
Wow.
And playing to win. So if you have this idea, I'm playing to win. Right?
Yeah.
That can bring in a different nature. So those are just ways that you can consciously evoke the spirit of play.
Perfect.
In your thinking.
Great. And so then how can we tie that into also more specifically the marketing component, right? Bringing in more of that play component to marketing.
Okay, so there are 4 pieces that I want to cover about your marketing, because successful marketing depends on these 4 things. And these are 4 states that come about because of play.
Okay, great.
So one of them is successful marketing depends on creativity.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
And none of us think we're very creative.
Well, and it's funny because I know that for some people, the most we look at, I'm thinking of in my realm, right? The coaching, healing, helping world, right? That unfortunately we're these super creative beings and these super healing, supportive beings in the world. But when it comes to looking at ourselves, then it's like there's this weird wall or block, right? So I'm really excited to hear your input on this, because I know that it's something in my field that is a big challenge, is being able to look at, first of all, marketing is not being icky, right? But also just being creative about it and also being confident in what you're creating. So I'm really excited to hear you talk more about bringing in the play, bringing in into your marketing, and being able to really just come up with some clear marketing plans that feel good to the individual.
Okay, so let's talk about creativity first.
Yeah.
Creativity is a byproduct of playing. So instead of reaching for creativity first, like I got to go get creative,
Yes.
play. Evoke one of these states. Sit down and think, okay, I'm going to play a game with this. I'm going to be playful with this. I'm going to do this, spontaneously.
Yes.
Evoke one of these states, or play, or laugh, read something funny, draw a little sketch, do something that seems playful to you before you sit down to be creative in your marketing, because you want to evoke that sense of creativity. So it's a byproduct. And creativity increases in an environment that tolerates failure.
Ooh.
So if you go into it with these ideas of experimenting or dabbling, or that if you have an epic fail, it's totally okay, you're creating space for creativity to come in.
That's, I think, really important to drive home.
Especially for entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Where failing means I've failed. Me personally. That's how an entrepreneur often approaches it. It's not true.
No,
It just means there was, a bump.
Yes.
And everyone talks about how failures are really the steps to success. We all know this intellectually, that there's no such thing as an epic fail.
Right.
It's not going to stop you. It's just a part of the process.
Yeah.
So if you remind yourself, hey, failure fully tolerated here. Come on in.
Yeah.
Then you're inviting creativity to show up too.
Yes. Perfect.
And when you suspend disbelief, right? So remember make believe and magic. Now we call it having a strategic vision. But it's really, or bringing in a new perspective. But really, when we unshackle solutions from reality, then we often find really, truly creative approaches.
Perfect.
So suspend disbelief. And who thought a gecko could sell insurance?
Yeah. Right. I am so glad you brought that example up. Seriously. How did that happen?
Okay. And you brought up another point that I want to address, and that is marketing as icky.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a big one.
Yeah.
So when I hear people talk about marketing, usually it's not like, oh, marketing. No one's caressing the air when they talk about marketing.
Excited.
It's usually like, I gotta go do my marketing, or marketing. Yeah, marketing's really good. I gotta do my marketing. So you're in marketing, okay? There's that like anxiety in that. Or people go, oh, you're in marketing.
I know what that means.
And they promptly move across the room.
Right. Okay.
So, but I want to challenge that notion.
Please.
Right?
Please listen up, people.
So in my point of view, in this last 2 years, part of this epiphany was to realize that marketing, when done well, is a profound act of service.
Say it again.
Marketing, when done well, is a profound act of service. And there are 2 things that I want you to think about to support that, or to just start to play with, try it on. One is that, we have this selling, buying world where you're pushed at, or, or you have to wade through a ton of material and you don't know what's there or what's right for you. Imagine a world where you were a seller, and really what you did was you said, wow, I know why I want to contribute this thing this service or this product, and I know that for this type of person, it's perfectly perfect for. And it's going to change their life, right? It's going to make something better. It's going to make something easier for their family or themselves, or it's going to bring in more fun or help them with a skill, whatever it is. And you felt that way about it and you emoted that. And the other person received, right? The person who had resonance with that said, oh, thank goodness.
Yes.
I want to receive that. Now that's the world of commerce that I can imagine if everyone was doing their marketing well. If you were being authentic and really dialed into why you were doing what you were doing, and the other person was resonating.
Yes.
Right? That's a beautiful world.
I'm so glad that you put it like that, because I think that, and you really touched on, I think, what a lot of the people I was speaking of earlier, the healers, the coaches, the helpers that get so stuck around it, but being able to articulate it in a way where you're really allowing people to receive the help and support that you can offer, right? That's kind of what you're saying.
It is. It's about creating win-win-win. It's a win for you. It's a win for them. And then that's a win for the world. Right? Something bigger is created.
Is everyone listening to this? She is speaking to my heart. You know my tagline, change your story, change your life, change the world. So right now I'm just like, oh, slow it down, Linda. Gosh, I'm going to fall even more in love. So I think I am so glad you addressed that, because I really, and I hope that if you're in some of the realms, and of course other realms of business too, but this is the one that comes up the most for me, naturally, duh. I just really think it's so important. And I'm going to say again, what Linda said, marketing, when done well, with emphasis on when done well, right, is a profound act of service.
And it does apply to other businesses. Think about the world as it is today compared to 10 years ago, 40 years ago, 60 years ago. Our lives are filled with innovation and products and services that make our lives more wonderful.
Yeah.
Like, I know in the sustainability point of view, it can be a little overwhelming to think about how many new things there are. But from a human creativity point of view, we just have a massive river of, ingenuity and innovation all around us. We can travel on a plane with just a little tablet thing, and it's got our family photos and our, our cool documentary and our all of our work stuff, and it weighs less than a half a pound, right? There are advances in prosthetics that are making, athletes out of people who used to only be able to move around in a wheelchair. I mean, the amount of human ingenuity in the products and services around us is immense. And so I invite entrepreneurs to come to the party. Bring your
come
service.
To the party, come play with us.
Bring your service, bring your product, market it so that you can get it into the world. That is a profound act of service, not just if you're a healer.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
if you have a product that makes someone's life better, that's being of service.
I can even see it as you're talking. It's making me think about cars. Is making me think about car dealerships too.
Totally.
And because sometimes, what's one of the most stereotypical salespeople, like the used car salesman? But cars are kind of a big part of our lives. And if you were finding cars that were a good match for you and your family and your circumstances and what you're looking for, oh my gosh.
Totally. And so that you're hitting on a good branding tactic is that boil it down to the essence of what do you really sell? One car dealer might sell security.
Yeah,
another
safety.
Car dealer might sell a movement.
Yeah.
Another one might sell reliability.
Yeah.
Right? So what is your unique why? Why do you do this? Why do you think it's important?
Ooh, yes.
Right.
Yes. And I think that is so critical to tap into. So critical to tap into.
So marketing's not icky.
Marketing is not icky. It might feel that way. I'm speaking to myself. It might feel that way, but we need to remember that it can be fun, because that's what we're talking about. Yeah, marketing is fun.
Try it on.
And really, I think, though, for me, the biggest piece is that it can be an act of service. And I think that that's why I'm emphasizing it so heavily. I love how you said that. It's so, so important. I think people, especially when they know they're very service-oriented, if you could embrace your marketing as a form of service, how big of a powerful shift would you be able to make, right? I think that just that shift in thinking could transform someone's business, right?
It could.
Yeah. Well, and of course, all the other things that we're talking about. So moving forward.
There are three other states that are important to bring play into your marketing. So we talked about creativity, but successful marketing also depends on experimentation. You don't know what works until you try it out. Right. And we have this perception that big companies, they just do it once. They just have this big launch and that's their marketing. It is not true. They have, by the time a big nationwide campaign launches, they've done all kinds of experimenting, focus groups. They've rolled it out in a bunch of smaller markets to do testing. They split test everything, which means you do multiple versions of the same campaign. So when you go online and you get, moved over to some landing page, you're seeing one version. Your neighbor down the street could be seeing a completely different version. And it's because they're experimenting with what works. So we should learn from the big companies. As an entrepreneur, if you experiment, you're going to increase the success of your marketing. So don't go away for 3 months thinking I'm just going to do this one big thing and then I'm going to unleash it on the world.
Right.
You want to get in there and get messy. You want to do it this way. You want to do it that way. You want to try it on. You don't be attached to your tagline, your logo, your whatever it is. Try it out. Get a new tagline. Go to a networking event. See if any eyes glaze over. If they do, try a different one. Talk to your ideal client. Get their feedback on it. So you want to get in there and this is like when you were little and you played with Play-Doh, right? You make a shape and then you smush it back together and you do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to take things to market in progress and see what works. And good marketing is more of a process than an end game. So everyone, it seems like it's a tangible thing, like now it's done. It's not ever done. It's an organic process that you continually engage in.
That's definitely very true. Continually engaging in it. It's an ongoing process for sure.
So if you have to continually engage in something, you might as well do it with a sense of enjoyment.
Yes. And that's why I'm just like thinking, I'm jotting down notes and ideas and I'm like, oh yes, speaking right to my heart right now.
So get in there, invite creativity by tolerating failure, and then get in there and get messy and bring on the experimentation. And then successful marketing depends on effective problem solving. When you think about something in a new way, new solutions appear. And if you hold something lightly, you leave more space for innovation.
We need to emphasize that part. Because when we think about something lightly, we're leaving more space for ideas.
That's right.
For thoughts, right? To come through. So maybe we can have the more creative solutions. It's not just, if this is happening, then this is always the answer. No, it's not true.
And I'm sure you see that with your clients in life coaching, right? Some of our big problems in life or places where we get stuck are because we're holding on to a fixed set of beliefs as if there's no other way to do it.
Yeah, a lot of shoulds. To be honest, and thank you for mentioning that, because that's probably why I didn't even realize when you said that how of course that triggered me, because it's true. The biggest thing that I emphasize with clients is coming from that really individualized, authentic standpoint of what makes you as an individual happy, what makes you as an individual healthy. How can you make these choices based on how your little soul ticks and what it really needs and is craving and desiring to live this happy, healthy life? Because I guarantee it is not the same as Bob or Stacy or whoever. And it's about tapping into that authenticity, which is so much of what you talk about with your marketing, which is, I think, why we vibe so well, because it's such an important piece to really be able to be of highest service to people. And that's what we're emphasizing today too, is I might be of service by helping people tap into the coaching piece of, okay, what do you need to be happy and healthy? But when you can tap into the authenticity around your marketing, oh my gosh, now you're being able to get your message out so clearly, so well, so more people can understand, oh my gosh, that's the solution to the problem that I've been dealing with for who knows how long.
Right. And so you're talking about both in that life situation and in the marketing about people coming together.
Yeah.
So when you find your client, when you help them find that little soul voice or something, if they can hold that lightly, they leave space for everyone else's little inklings about their soul voice.
Yes.
So everyone can come together. Like, I've got my thing, but I hold it kind of lightly.
Yeah.
Right. I've got my marketing message, but I hold it kind of lightly. And that leaves this space for you to then come in. And so it's about creating space.
Well, and talk about the peace too that we can experience when we can allow space for others and allow space for other ways.
Other ways. That's the whole piece about innovation. So
Yes.
there are some companies, they actually create space for their employees in order for innovation to come in. They allow them to dedicate a certain part of their week to exploring new ideas, right? They actually give them space in their schedule to invite innovation in. So
Beautiful.
yeah, people there really is it's like scientifically proven that if you create the space and the right conditions, new solutions and creativity and innovation come.
Ding, ding, ding. Love it.
So when you are open and inquisitive, you are definitely more effective than when you are worried and controlling. Couldn't be truer in marketing.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to hear that too. Okay.
Okay, and the fourth one, successful marketing depends on creating trust.
Yes, yes, yes.
Trust, of course, is
Yes.
a big piece of the buyer-seller relationship, right? So,
Yes.
And when we talk about content marketing, that's the whole emphasis of content marketing is to provide value for people so that they can come to know what you really do and to build a relationship with you, which is trusting you.
Yes, absolutely.
And so it turns out that being playful actually causes others to trust you. So when I said scientists study this, I saw this great, this group did this research project, and they looked at the animal kingdom, and they found all these instances where in an aggressive circumstance between two animals, if one of the animals adopted a playful stance, it sort of dispelled the tension. And the two, like a dog and an elephant.
Wow.
You know, the dog takes a little like, come on, let's play, and wag their tail kind of posture. And then the next thing you know, the elephant's doing something funny, and they're both playing. Two different species in what could have been an aggressive situation,
Yes.
instead choose to play. Why? Because it creates trust.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
So humor helps people connect with you. Playing builds relationships. And when you're playing with others, you get to have the power of being in a group.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And that can be so powerful too when we're in the group setting, right?
Well, and that's gives rise to that creativity and the innovation that can happen more easily when you have a group of people who are holding things lightly, creating space, trusting each other, reminding each other to hold something lightly or to experiment, or it feeds off of each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is so great. Now, we've been talking a lot about bringing play into your marketing. So I want to ask, Linda, can you also share a few tools that you can use to bring play into your marketing?
Sure.
Perfect.
So one tool is what I call smart rivalry.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is about knowing your competition. If you were playing a sporting event, you would spend a lot of time looking at how your competition plays, right? And so that you could differentiate yourself, so you could know their strengths and weaknesses, so that you could more effectively engage with them. When it comes to an entrepreneur in their marketing, somehow there's like I don't want to see what anyone else is doing, right?
Yeah.
Because then I'll be scared that I'm not doing it as well, or I'll feel like, what's the point? They all do it so much better than I do. Mm-hmm. Or I'll be overwhelmed, or I won't be original if I look at everyone else's stuff. And nothing could be further from the truth. So when you take on this idea of smart rivalry, it means you're gonna be responsible for knowing who else does what you do. And how do they do it, and what kind of services do they offer? I was reading a book last night on curiosity, and the owner of Walmart used to have or I don't know if he still does, a Saturday morning meeting every week with his top 400 managers, and he would ask them, what's the competition doing this week? Not what the competition wasn't doing well, but what the competition was doing well in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why? Because you want to know. You want to find new ideas. You want to bring in innovation, and one of the ways you can do that is being very aware of what's going on around you. It doesn't mean that you can't compete then because you perceive someone's better than you. It actually gives you a chance to identify what you do uniquely well.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so you have to not let it get you down. You have to use it to find meaningful differences in what you do.
Yeah.
And just to be informed. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm probably one of 1 million marketing people. 1 million.
That's a lot.
I could overwhelm myself with, research on my competition. But I just say, hey, it's just a healthy part of doing business.
Yes.
I just make it a point. I never take it as that I can't do this. There are so many people in the world, and typically an entrepreneur only needs a very small fraction of those people to have a successful business for their whole life.
Yes.
Right? I only need to touch a few thousand people to run a very successful business.
Oh, yeah.
So that doesn't even touch the millions of people in the world. So of course, I'm actually happy that there are so many people out there doing authentic marketing stuff, right?
Yes.
That means the world might shift.
Yes.
So smart rivalry.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Another thing is the act, assess, act cycle, right? This is like lather, rinse, repeat. And we talked about this a little bit earlier. Your marketing is not going away. It's not like you're going to do it once and it's over. So having a practice of taking an activity, a marketing activity or some action, assessing the results, and then taking more action.
Yep.
Informed by that assessment. So what I often see are entrepreneurs are rushing forward madly, doing as much marketing as they can, and you ask them what works, they have no idea. Mm-hmm. So you spend 20, 30% of your time doing activities and you have no idea.
That's a big problem. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a time waste.
Yeah.
But we have this perception that we can't slow down and review what we've been doing.
Right.
You can't afford not to do that, in my perspective.
Well, and it also is true. One of my mentors taught me, he said he has one of the craziest schedules I've ever seen in my life. He's like an adjunct professor at multiple universities, plus he has his own business, plus he does a lot of the caretaking of his family and children. And I'm just always blown away. And he goes, I said, well, but look at how organized you are. He said, oh yeah, Jen. He said, I spend an hour of organizing really clearly my weeks, my plans, what I'm doing. He said, I really believe that I'm trying to remember the ratio right, but I think he said, an hour of planning saves 3 of execution. And I just went, ding, ding. We have to make time for it.
Right. So in marketing, you have to make time for review.
The review, exactly.
Right? What worked? What didn't? What do I want to do differently? How can you be experimenting if you are never assessing the results of anything?
Because it comes back to it. Like if you could spend 1 hour that equated to 3 or more, wouldn't that be worth it?
It
Time-wise?
totally is.
Hello, right?
So often when I do a marketing assessment for someone who's been in business for a long time, they've sort of accumulated a lot of marketing activities and they don't drop their old ones as they're picking up new ones, and they're not assessing what's effective. Right away, we strip away like 4 or 5 different marketing tactics because they're old, they're not needed. That's not where their business is coming anymore. Mm-hmm. Right? So it is about saving time.
Yes. Yes. Ah.
Okay, and another tool is play to win. Okay, so like we discussed before with serious play, this is be in it to win.
Yes.
Right?
We like winning.
We like winning. And but we think we're not sure we can. We're not sure if it's for us.
Right.
We're not sure if we're worth that.
Yes.
Believe that you can win in whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? And that means you're focused on getting results. A lot of entrepreneurs are like, well, I could do those follow-ups or I could do this, but then and it's kind of vague and amorphous. But if you were really focused, like, I'm playing to win, I got to get some results, I got to get some scores on the board, you would be all over those follow-ups because you just want to make something happen.
Yes.
It's not about the end result, it's about the process.
Right. Right. And I think that we have to keep that in mind. Playing to win, for sure. Perfect.
It brings a different mentality to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Now I need a game plan. Mm-hmm. Now I need some strategy.
Good strategy too.
Now I got to do some practice.
Yes.
Right. And I've got to get some feedback, and I need some mentoring or some coaching. Who plays without a coach?
Right.
No sports team.
That's a great analogy too. Who is out there playing? What professional basketball team is playing out there without a coach? Nobody.
Executives too.
Right.
Anyone who's a high achiever.
Yes.
They do it with support.
Yes. This is a big piece I think that people need to remember, is especially people that have big issues around asking for support. I think remembering that when we want to excel and step into the next level, energetically, business-wise, whatever, support's more than likely going to be needed.
Absolutely. You've got to build your team.
Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. And I see a little thing that says world power, which of course is attractive to me. So let's hear about that one.
Okay, so world power is versus willpower. In this country, we're told to pull on your bootstraps and get going. You got to make this happen. But in truth, most of us, willpower is a tricky thing. It's not easy to harness, and not everyone has it, or you don't have it consistently, right? All kinds of things can sway your willpower.
Yes.
Right? How easy is it to stay on a diet? Not, right? So world power is the idea of setting up your environment in a way that pulls you forward. So rather than you pushing all the time uphill both ways.
Yeah. 3 miles in the snow.
Exactly.
Yep.
With my grandpa. So setting up your world in a way that pulls you forward is to make some internal upgrades.
Yes.
Right? What we were saying before, get rid of some of those old patterns or limiting beliefs, right? Because they are not allowing you to move forward easily. Replace them or cultivate a habit of new beliefs that actually pull you forward. Yes, you can. Playing to win.
Yes.
Okay? So make some internal upgrades, some environmental upgrades, right? If you're an entrepreneur, your network better be continually upgrading and getting better if you want your business to grow.
Yes.
When's the last time you looked around at your network and did an assessment of how well it was serving you? When's the last time you went and pursued someone a notch above to be part of your network?
Yeah.
Right? That pulls you forward.
This is something big, I think, to really people need to hear clearly. Look at your networks. Are they serving you or not?
Do they bring you down?
Honest. Yeah.
Or do they fill you with a sense of enthusiasm and excitement and can-do attitude?
Yeah, exactly.
So your systems. So many entrepreneurs are limping along doing workarounds. Really, if I could eliminate workarounds.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, the phone that doesn't really connect and get your email well. So you have to go online and look at it like this. Things that you do that waste time because you don't have a system for it.
Right.
Or you need to replace equipment, or you need to upgrade it with a different kind of service.
Yeah.
So look at your systems, look at the environmental upgrades around you, and then look at the people who support you. So your network is sort of like your professional network, people you can rely on, vendors you can go to, colleagues and such. But there are then the people who support you, both at work and at home. If you and your assistant aren't great communicators, fix that.
Yeah. Fix that. Thank you.
If you don't feel supported at home, call Jen Julius. I do marketing. I do the home stuff. But you really have to have the people around you supporting you in moving forward.
It's so, and it, again, that just shoots straight to my heart because you know me. And it's so true that we have to be able to look at who's on our team in so many ways. And unfortunately, I see a lot with my clients that the people they consider closest to them are unfortunately oftentimes the biggest contributors to holding them back. Not always obviously or consciously. I'm not putting blame. I'm not saying, whatever. What I am saying though, sometimes we have to look at what our little soul's trying to tell us in our little heart and really see, where am I going? And are these people coming with me or not? And being okay with that and being able to move forward. And that goes right back to what we were just saying with networks. Are these people still, I hate to say it like this, but serving us in a way? Are we still connecting? And how are we then also connecting to our next step? And that's where the marketing comes in, with aligning us with our next step, right?
It's true.
Stepping into that world power.
That's right. So we say zap tolerations, right? Zap these things that you've been tolerating. Be brave and have that difficult conversation with someone in your world about how you need to communicate more effectively, or the kind of support that would be really supportive to you.
I like that. Zap what you're tolerating. Like zap toleration.
Zap your tolerations.
If you're tolerating it, you might just want to shift it instead, right?
You might want to consciously address it and move it on.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You'll feel lighter.
Yes, for sure. This is such a weird example that just popped in my head, but welcome to my head. My mom just got me this little solar-powered dancing Betty Boop bobblehead. Nice. So she dances in the sun, but she dances so hard that she wakes me up in the morning in my windowsill. So instead of tolerating it for weeks or months, I moved her to a less sunny place of my bedroom.
There you go.
So, and I know that seems like a somewhat silly example, but it came up so strongly because sometimes we tolerate things for so long that it could have been shifted or changed so easily. In fact, the fact that I even let her be in the windowsill and wake me up for 3 days in a row is kind of crazy. Maybe I should have changed it after the first day. But I'll tell you what, a while ago, I might have tolerated it for a month before I finally went, what the heck? Right?
Right.
And I think that this comes also back to what we're talking about. Zapping these things that we're tolerating, allowing ourselves to shift them. If it's not working, change it.
Yep. Set up your world.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Anything else that you want to talk about with those concepts?
Nope.
Because we have one more big topic to tackle with the rest of the show if we want to. Are we ready for this?
We are.
This is kind of a surprise for those of you listening. A little bit of extra juice. Linda's amazing at helping people really hone in on their ideal client. And what I've noticed is in my world of helpers, healers, coaches, etc., there's often a lot of resistance around really nailing down that ideal client and just being really clear with ourselves about who we really want to serve and who the people that we can serve best are. And I'll be honest, now that I'm quite a few years into my business, it kind of makes me cringe when I ask someone, who their ideal client is, and they say, oh, I can help everyone. And I just go, oh, shucks. So I'm really excited for you to kind of address this topic today because I've seen so much resistance, and I also see the correlation with people having a struggling business due to that resistance to be clear on who their people are.
Right. So this goes back to this idea of marketing when done well.
Yes.
So if you are putting out a message of I can help anyone who wants to pay me, you're putting out a very diluted message.
Yeah.
So you're not being very effective with your messaging. You're sort of scattering it out. Imagine like shooting buckshot. Right, just a little bit touches on a wide area.
Right.
When you define your ideal client, and I know some people hate that phrase, so what I say is the people you love to do it with. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you do something. Who are the people you love to do it with?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
right? It's a little bit like dating. Right, you could go on a date with anyone.
True.
But there are a select group of people that you could go on a date with, and somehow the two of you together create something bigger than both of you.
Yeah.
And that's what you're looking for in your, quote, ideal client.
Yes.
So you do something really well. There's some type of person that is served very well by that. And when you're willing to be specific, you're actually giving those people a better chance at finding you.
Yes. Yes.
If you're dispersing your message in the little I can help anyone, then they're not being reached. The specific people that you could help aren't hearing your message because it's not aimed at them.
Right.
So this gets back to this creating trust. When you look at a vendor and they're speaking or messaging in a way that you get, you feel trust, you feel resonance, you feel desire, a pull toward them.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes it's as simple as words people use. People watch for words that really resonate with them in the marketing component, right? Or in taglines or whatever. And I think that I'm going to let you continue because this is something that just starts twirling in my head a lot.
But so, okay, imagine, here's an example that's coming to mind.
Yeah.
I'm in healthcare. Come see me, I'll help you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, are you a nurse? Are you a doctor? Are you a chiropractor? I mean,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah.
Right? That's the I'll help anyone. I'm in healthcare.
Yeah.
But if you say I'm a chiropractor and I specialize in allergies. Okay, now you've just talked to me. You've just talked to a whole bunch of people who, you're a chiropractor and you specifically address allergies. Wow.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Let me come talk to you.
And that's what was spinning in my head a little bit is the concept of specialists. That we're in a culture right now where we can find people that specialize in things. And we kind of want them. We kind of want the specialists. I'm noticing that a lot of people don't just want the run-of-the-mill, this is, we do all of this. We'd almost rather go to, if I want an organic turkey burger, then I might go to a place where I know specializes in burgers that are organic, locally grown, grass-fed. I'm not going to go to a random restaurant to find that, right?
Exactly. So a specialist would imply a depth of knowledge.
Yes. Yes.
So own what you have a depth of knowledge in.
Yeah.
So it's bigger than just owning your skill set.
And here's the other deal too. If people, come on. All right. Just because what we're not saying is that if you're claiming this ideal client, what you're not doing is excluding everyone else. And I think that's the most important piece that some people need to hear. Just because you're saying, this is what I specialize in, does not mean that you are excluding other people from receiving your gift or receiving your service.
But you are expanding the number of people who are specifically well suited to receive your service.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. I think that's just so important to drive home, because I see so often that, well, but I could also help this person. Okay, fine. You could also help that person. But who can you help the most? Who do you feel the best helping? What do you specialize in the most? And own it, like you said.
And it's about, who do you feel the best with? You can work with a lot of different people, but the ones that you love to do it with actually give you energy too.
Yes.
Right. So I call it a love fest, right? I do it with you. I love doing it with you.
Yes.
We create a lot of energy. We both feel really good at the end of it. We're
Totally.
both in love with each other and referring, oh, she was great. Oh, you were great to work with. Like, I have clients who we're just like, oh, no, you're great. No, you're great. No, you're great. You're so great. And I end the day feeling amazing.
Yes. Yes. I'm just laughing because this literally just happened with I saw 2 clients yesterday, and pretty much that exactly happened.
See, and that's the best. I mean, that's the best way to do business. That's when you love going to work.
Yeah.
So marketing when done well, it's your why, that contribution that you're here to make with the people you love to do it with, and then how you do it uniquely to solve their problems.
Can you say those again for people to jot down?
It's your why, this deeper why, what you want to contribute, the people you love to do it with, your ideal client, and then how you uniquely solve their problem. What do you do that's different?
Beautiful.
If you can emote those 3 pieces, that's marketing done well.
I love it.
And then have fun, because if you entertain your prospects, they will remember you.
Yeah, they will. They will. And people also, I think, are wanting to feel more of that connection. Absolutely. The connection where they know that they found the right fit. And I keep bringing it back to kind of my world of the helping, healing, service-oriented professions. But it's what I'm so big on is the concept that there is a helper, healer, coach out there for everyone, but you have to find the one that fits for you. I always give the example that I've had 3 different therapists during part of my personal growth when I was a young woman. 2 of them were amazing. 1 of them stunk. Wasn't because she was a bad therapist at all. She was actually a really great therapist, but she was a really poor match for me. What we need to recognize is that there are these people, there's helpers, healers out there for everyone. And when we can really honor that and say, hey, I really appreciate you coming to me, but I actually specialize in this, but my friend specializes in this. And we're able to just claim that power and support each other in that way too, and make sure that people are receiving the help and support they need. Even more powerful.
And it's bigger than that. It's a world where all the products and services fit in that way. That's that world I was describing at the beginning.
Yes.
Right? So all the products and services, there's a right fit for you.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. And that's such a big topic that I'm so glad that we tackled, because I really, like I said, I see so much resistance around it. And so what I'm curious about is there something that you really want to drive home? We've talked about play. We've talked about bringing play into our marketing. We've talked about having marketing when done well is a profound act of service. We've talked about aiming our marketing towards that ideal client and being willing to claim that ideal client and kind of how to do that. Is there anything that you want to really clarify a little bit more, or maybe do you want to just summarize for people the main points that you really want to drive home?
Well, I think if you could embrace this idea of getting messy and experimenting, and that creativity is something that can be invited in, and innovation is something you have to create space for. So when you create space, which is very difficult for entrepreneurs to do, you're actually making more room. Right? Mm-hmm. That reticence to assess is, I don't want to slow down and waste time. But in reality, I guess it's akin to meditation or some of these other, presence practices. The more present you are, the more space you make, the more room you're leaving for something spectacular to happen.
Yes.
Right. So it's just the opposite of that harried, relentless, pace where you can't catch your breath. That's not conducive to good marketing. It's not conducive to a good life. It's not conducive to good connections.
Yeah.
It doesn't create trust. But you can't just shift out of that because you will it, right? So that's this idea of taking a playful stance, trying on these new ways of thinking so that you can invite play in, so that you can experiment, suspend disbelief, get messy.
Yeah.
Right? So it's all connected. Be willing to have space, invite in or use the tools that can shift your state of being, and then be present in that.
Yeah.
It's a lesson for life. It's not just about marketing.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. How fun. You know what's even crazier? We're at completion. Time flies when you're having fun. So thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure.
Where can people find out more information about you? How can they contact you?
Linda at lindabasso.com is my email. You can go to my website at lindabasso.com.
Perfect. And are you on Facebook or any social media stuff?
Yeah, Facebook. I think it's under Marketing with Connection.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so excited to share this space with you. I know that you are absolutely amazing at what you do. And thank you all for listening to Information and Inspiration with Jen Julius. For more information about me, you can check out some of my previously recorded shows and blogs at jenjulius.com. You can also like me on Facebook at facebook.com/jenjuliuscoaching. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.